I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no hoe. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no killer, but don't push me, fingers itching on that pole.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Flex, and I'm back here with another video. Happy New Year's to everybody, man. Hope everybody had a great New Year's. It's January 2nd right now. I'm recording this on January 1st, but I know it's January 2nd when I'm releasing this. Anyways, Happy New Year's to you guys. What's you guys' New Year's resolution? What are you guys leaving in 2018? I personally left Adam Gase and Ryan Tannehill in 2018, okay? And I know Ryan Tannehill's still on the team, but he's already gone, okay? In my head, he don't play for us no more, all right? Simple as that. I think Ryan Tannehill fans left me in 2018, to be quite honest with you. Let me know if you're a Ryan Tannehill fan and you still actually watch my videos. I would be surprised because a lot of y'all gone. But I still love y'all. Now, on to this video. We moving on to next season, and I've been thinking about the Miami Dolphins head coach situation. Now, a lot of people be like commenting on my videos, we need to hire this guy or this guy, and I just be thinking in my head like, what the f are you talking about? No, we don't need to hire this guy or that guy. But when people ask me who should we hire, I never have an answer to it. So it's like I'm telling y'all, no, we shouldn't hire him, but I'm not telling you who we should hire. So I had to stop being lazy. I had to get up out of my depression state of the Miami Dolphins losing their last 3 games, and I had to say, you know what? Let me look up some of these coaches and really figure out who's my favorite. So I looked up all the coaching options. I've been researching, studying, the history of NFL coaches, all type of stuff I've been looking up. And I composed a list of my top 5 coaches for the Miami Dolphins this offseason. The top 5 coaches that I want the Dolphins to get, okay? If they can't get anybody else, any of these 5 coaches, I would be happy, okay? I would be happy with any of these 5 coaches. Real quick, shout out to people who like this video before they even heard this sentence. Now let's get into it. Now I'm gonna go in order from the worst to the best, but I mean it's not really the worst to the best because I like them all. But I'm gonna go from my least favorite to my most favorite. So number 5, Chuck Pagano. Now this is an unpopular one, I know. A lot of Miami Dolphins fans, I've said this before. I said this on my live stream a couple of days ago, and everybody was like, "What, Chuck Pagano? Hell no, Chuck Pagano." I don't know why people hate Chuck Pagano. He went 11-5 his first 3 seasons with the Colts, okay? And even before that, he was great. He was a defensive coach for the Ravens. He was great with them. He was great with their secondary. All right? He's great with secondaries. And like I said, he went 11-5, and then he started losing when Andrew Luck started getting hurt. But before Andrew Luck was getting hurt, he was not losing with the Colts. Then after Andrew Luck got hurt, he went 8-8, then 8-8 again, then he went 4-12, and then he got fired. So I don't understand how he's not a good coach. Another thing I like about Chuck Pagano, other than his experience and his ability to win, he's shown that he can make the playoffs. He's shown that he even made the AFC Championship game one year, but they kept running into the Patriots. So they ran into the Patriots twice and lost. And he said in an interview that he wants to coach in the NFL specifically to beat the Patriots. That's his goal. So listen, that's my goal too. Listen, I want to beat the Patriots too. How great would it be for him to be in that division with the Patriots? He would do everything in his power to win that division over the Patriots, okay? Because he has that hatred for the Patriots that I hate, okay? He's not my favorite coach, but I think he'll be a great coach. I'd be happy if we signed him. I don't think it's a good chance we'll sign him, but I would be happy if we signed him. I don't see the problem. Let me know. Maybe I'm missing something. You guys know something about him. I don't know. Now, my 4th choice of coach of the Miami Dolphins, Darren Trizzie. Now, Darren Trizzie, this might be a surprising one, but Darren Trizzie, he's already been a coach of our team for these years. He knows the players. He knows the personnel. Okay, he's been for a while. He's been the only consistent piece on the entire team in the last 10 years. I don't know. He's been here since, 2009? He's been the only consistent piece on the entire, out of everybody, okay? Him and Cam Lake, okay? He's been very consistent. He has a lot of passion. I really like Rizzi, okay? But the reason why he's not ranked higher is just because of the simple fact he is a special teams coach. And we would be taking a humongous risk by putting a special teams coach as our head coach. Typically, that doesn't happen, okay? John Harbaugh was a special teams coach, and he is now the coach of the Ravens, and you see that worked out for them, okay? So that's like the story that everybody looks at and says, well, special teams coach can do this, okay? But John Harbaugh was also a secondary coach as well as a special. But other than him, I can't think of another special teams coach that came to be a head coach that was really successful. But Darren Trizzie still is a great coach. You know what I'm saying? I love Darren Trizzie, but it's a whole nother step it takes to head coach. It's a whole new different set of responsibilities. Now, I'm not saying he can't do it. It's just a risk, okay? And at the end of the day, it's going to be something different. It's definitely going to be a risk, but I'm down for it. If the Dolphins are down for it, I would not be upset if he became head coach. I will be happy. I will be all the way behind him. I know he has a lot of passion. I know he's gonna get the best out of these players. I would be happy with Darren Trizzie. Now on to number 3. My third option for head coach, Kris Richards. All right, guys. Now this is the defensive coordinator, right? Well, he's a defensive back coach for the Cowboys right now. And honestly, guys, he had to grow on me. I wasn't really sure of him at first. He's young. He had to grow on me. I had to do some research on him. Okay, so he used to be the defensive backs coach for the Seahawks when they had the Legion of Boom, okay? The best secondary in I've ever seen, okay? The Legion of Boom. He's a very, very passionate guy, as y'all can see in these videos. He's a leader, and he's very young. Now, very young coaches scare me off of the Adam Gase, you know, off the fact that what Adam Gase did, okay? Adam Gase was a young coach, supposed to be the future, and it didn't work out. But some young coaches do work out. Look at Sean McVay. So, Adam Gase was supposed to be a young coach, it didn't work out. This guy is very, very young, but he's a very good coach. And the Cowboys, actually, I see a lot of Cowboys fans hoping that he will be their next head coach after Jason Garrett. But we can just come in there and swoop him up now. And even Byron Maxwell was good in Seattle. Okay, you can say, well, he had Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, so who knows if he was really good. But hell, he had Byron Maxwell playing good. When Byron Maxwell went to Miami, was he playing good? Hell no. So he even had Byron Maxwell playing good out there. And then look at it from this perspective. Was the Cowboys secondary all that last season? He comes to the Cowboys this season, and the Cowboys have one of the best defenses in the league. Okay, Byron Jones is playing out of his mind. He also does the play calling. Even though he's not the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, he play calls the defense for the Cowboys. Okay, so this guy, I think he has a lot of potential. And him being so young, he could grow with us. You know, because we're gonna have a young team. He's gonna grow. He could grow with us. He could possibly be a beast. And I like his personality, his ability to deal with strong personalities. If y'all see, there's a picture of him and Richard Sherman arguing. Okay, him and Richard Sherman almost looked like they were about to come to blows. Okay, they was really about to fight. They could have had tension between them, but if you fast forward now, they've won a Super Bowl together, and they're actually friends to the point where Richard Sherman is co-signing for him. So you know what I'm saying? I think, you know, personally, that says a lot about his character. I think that says a lot about his character, his ability to deal with, you know, these players with these big personalities. But like I said, he is very young, and that's why he's not higher. I really, really like him, though. I really, really like him, and the Dolphins are interviewing him. But he's so young, and you know, that's the only negative thing I can say about him. I think he's great on with the defense. He'll be great with the defense, okay? I think our secondary already has that potential there. When he comes in, works his magic, we might have one of the top defenses in the league. Now on to my number 2 coach that I would like the Dolphins to get. Vic Fangio. He's a defensive coordinator for the Bears, and the reason why I like him over Richards is just because based off experience. You know what I'm saying? He's been a defensive coordinator way longer than Kris Richards has. Okay, he was a defensive coordinator with the 49ers when they had Harbaugh, and they made the Super Bowl that year. They didn't win, but they made the Super Bowl, and they led the league in turnovers. Now he's a defensive coordinator for the Bears, who was a great team. Even last year, before they had Khalil Mack, they were like the 10th ranked defense or something like that. Now they got Khalil Mack. They're amazing defense. You guys already see how great they are. On all of his defenses in the NFL have been good, except when he first became a defensive coordinator. He was a defensive coordinator for the Houston Texans when they first got into the league and started their team from scratch. That defense sucked because they literally started from scratch. He didn't have nobody. But ever since he's got adjusted and he's worked with the 49ers and with the Bears, he's always had great defenses. And it's the same situation with Kris Richards. It's the same situation with Kris Richards, but he just has a lot more experience, okay? He's led a lot of great defenses. So I don't think he would be a bad pickup, you know what I'm saying? And before I get to the number 1 coach that I want the Miami Dolphins to get, let's start with some honorable mentions. Now, the honorable mentions of this is going to be Mike McCarthy and the Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy or something like that. This could be great coaches, but let's start off. Let's talk about them individually. Mike McCarthy. How do we know Mike McCarthy is good? He had Aaron Rodgers. Did Aaron Rodgers make Mike McCarthy look good, or was it the opposite way around? It just sounds too much like Philbin. It sounds too much like Gase, where we get these guys who had great offenses on another team with elite quarterbacks, and they get to the Miami Dolphins, and they cannot mimic that success, okay? Mike McCarthy, I just do not trust him. I've learned my lesson from Gase and Philbin. No more coaches that have elite quarterbacks. No more coaches that have elite quarterbacks that look great. All these offensive coordinators that have elite quarterbacks and look great, and then come to us and then don't mimic that success. I no more of that, okay? And then with the Eric guy, the Chiefs offensive coordinator, I think he might be a great fit, especially with our speed that we have at receiver. We have a lot of speed. Like, the Chiefs have a lot more speed than us, but I think we're second to the Chiefs in speed. If you ask me, at receiver with Albert Wilson coming back and Jakeem Grant, I think we have the second most speed at receiver. So I think he would help us. He could help us, you know, but he doesn't call the plays for the Chiefs. Andy Reid calls the plays for the Chiefs. Now, Doug Peterson and Nagy, two former offensive coordinators for the Chiefs under Andy Reid, they both left and became head coaches and was successful. But they both also did call plays for the Chiefs, at least in a moderation, okay? Nagy called plays for at the end of the year, at the end of his tenure, he used to call plays. And then Doug Peterson said he used to call plays when the Chiefs went on an 11-game win streak when they had him at offensive coordinator. He would call plays in the second half of games, and Andy Reid would call it in the first half of games, okay? So they both had at least play calling experience. This guy right here, to my knowledge, has no play calling experience. He helps the game plan, but Andy Reid calls all the plays. So I don't really know if I can trust him. Also, another thing, guys, you guys will notice on this list, I had all defensive people, I think. Unless you count Darren Trizzie, he's a special teamer, I had all defensive people. That was purposely. I started doing a little research, and I realized out of all the teams that made the Super Bowl or that won the Super Bowl the last 15 years, 10 of them were defensive coaches. And when I say defensive coaches, I mean coaches that went from defensive coordinators to head coaches. Only 5 of them that won the Super Bowl were offensive coaches, okay? Just by the numbers just tell me that a defensive coach is more successful, okay? Most likely. All they need is to have a good offensive coordinator. That's all. And even when an offensive coach does win the Super Bowl, it's because they have a top 5 defense by the grace of God. You know what I'm saying? But if we get a defensive coach that can turn our defense into a top 5 defense, we can compete with any team. It doesn't matter. All we need is a pretty good offensive coordinator. You know, an offense that can manage a game, and we could beat any team. I think I said in a previous video, I was like, oh, I don't want a defensive coach because I think our defense already has talent. We need somebody to work with this offense. I have completely did a 180 on that. I no longer believe that. I believe we do need a defensive-minded coach. We already have the talent on defense. A great defensive coach is going to bring us to a top 5 unit. If you have a top 5 unit on defense, you can beat anybody in the league. It doesn't even matter. Your offense obviously being good would help a lot, but you can still compete and beat anybody in the league with a top 5 defense. And I think we have the talent to have that if we get the right coach. So that's why all the coaches that y'all see me name was all defensive coaches. I'm not with all these offensive guru specialists, okay? Gase and Philbin, maybe that's just a bad taste in my mouth from them. I'm good on that. So the last coach, my number 1 option of head coach of the Miami Dolphins, the Harbaughs. Now notice I didn't say Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh, because there's rumors that we could get either one of them. Either one of them would be my number 1 option. John Harbaugh, for obvious reasons, he's a great coach. He already has a Super Bowl. He's won. You know he knows how to win. All right, you know what I'm saying? They saying we could trade for him. I doubt it. Like I think this is a long shot we get the Harbaughs. But you know, John Harbaugh is a great coach. There's nothing I can say about him. He went from special teams, great on defense. The Ravens had the number 1 defense like all year this year. You know, I really can't compliment him. Y'all see what he's doing with that team, okay? He's been a consistent winner with them. I mean, they missed the playoffs a couple times, but he's for the most part been a consistent winner, and I think he'll help build us to a consistent winner, okay? And then his brother, the other Harbaugh that's at Michigan, I think he'll be good. He's not the best college coach. I ain't gonna lie. In bowl games or against ranked opponents, they have like a terrible record. He's not the best college coach, but he was in NFL. He was good. And the most important thing I think about both of these coaches, they both made the Super Bowl without elite quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Because chances are Dolphins might not get an elite quarterback. You know, it's rare that you can find an elite quarterback. And you have 2 coaches, both of the Harbaughs, who have both made Super Bowls with Joe Flacco at quarterback and with Kaepernick at quarterback. Those are not elite players. You know what I'm saying? So they have shown the ability to be able to work with maybe a decent quarterback or a pretty good quarterback and go far with them. Those are my number 1 options right there. Those are my number 1 options, the Harbaugh. So to go over the list again, at 5 we got Chuck Pagano, 4 Darren Trizzie, 3 Kris Richards, 2 Vic Fangio, and number 1 Harbaugh. Both of them, whichever one. All right. Those are my top 5. I would be extremely happy if we get any of those 5, okay? I'm going to trust whatever coach we end up getting, but those 5 are at the top of my list. Also, this could change, you know what I'm saying? If I go watch this Bears playoff game and the Eagles drop 50 points on Vic Fangio's defense, then obviously things could change. But right now, Those are my top coach candidates. Let me know in the comment section you guys top 5 coach candidates. Like, comment, subscribe. What's up, Buckhead Flexing? I'm out.